live onto the red carpet to Alex Zane.
Attending his last ever Harry Potter premiere, the man whose story this was. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Radcliffe.
Everyone belongs to the business until it's over.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Potter himself, for the final time attending a premiere here in London, Daniel Radcliffe. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Alex?
I'm really well, thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Now, I saw your face as you just came over that step there and saw all this. What do you make of it?
It's the moment when you just have to sort of let yourself sit back and go, this is pretty damn cool. This is like, you know, you don't get this often. This will not happen to me again. A premiere in Trafalgar Square, this is a one-off. You know, the whole series, not just the film, not just the end products of the films, but the way they were made, the atmosphere in which they were made is kind of unrepeatable. So it seems like a fitting event. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
When you see this, does it make you happy or sad that this won't be ever happening again?
I don't think it's either of those things. I mean, it's incredibly happy, and I just think you have to sort of... oh, very good. I've seen a sign that says "Wand out, Potter." Very good. But no, I mean, you know, it's you just have to let yourself kind of revel in it and just enjoy it while it lasts, because it won't happen again, and it is the last one. And yeah, so there is a bit of sadness, but generally speaking, it's a day to be elated.
Did you get to keep the glasses?
Yes, I have 2 pairs. I have 1 pair. They're so happy for me. I had 1 pair from the very first film, and then 1 from the last. So I've got my fair share of swag.
Ever try them on when you're obviously not on set?
Not yet, but I'm sure when I'm having a nostalgic, teary moment in 10 years' time, I'll try and put the ones from when I was 10 on and cry to myself in the mirror.
Now, I was talking to David Yates earlier, and he says his favourite scene is, it's crazy, isn't it? His favourite scene is where you're walking through the forest in the final film. Is that yours, or do you have another favourite?
You know, it's one of my favourites, partly because it was so... I built that scene up in my head so much, and I was so frustrated and trying to get it right that I was quite worried about that scene, because there's a huge amount of onus placed on it in the book. But in terms of how it's turned out, it is one of the ones that I'm proudest of. I mean, it's like, I very rarely look at anything I do on screen and go, that's good. But in that scene, I was like, yes, at last you've done something half decent.
Now, some of the cast here, it's just crazy, isn't it?
It is quite crazy. It's kind of amazing. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, it's not raining, it's beautiful, everyone's screaming and happy, and it's kind of, yeah, I mean, it's wild. I will never get this again. You know, it's to be appreciated.
Now, some of the cast here haven't seen the film, but I know you have. How would you rate this film in terms of the series? Where does it sit for you?
It's just, I cannot emphasize enough how far ahead this film is of any of the others. It is amazing. I mean, I am so proud of this film, and the way we have gone out in this film is just, we could not have made a better version of this film. It's staggeringly good, and I'm a harsh critic of these films, but I just think I think people are going to go crazy for it. Yeah.
Now, we're so used to seeing yourself and Rupert and Emma as your characters, Harry, Ron and Hermione, the holy trinity of the Potter movies. Are you going to miss working alongside them?
Of course, you know, when you spend 10 years working with two people, I mean, two very, very special people, you know, it's, of course, you're gonna, you know, it's gonna be a very, very strange thing, but I think we always know that the tie that binds us is this series, which, you know, nobody knows what it's like to go through this mad, crazy, surreal, wonderful, inspirational 10 years like we do, and so I think that will always connect us.
And in terms of the big connection between you and Voldemort in this movie, I mean, there are some powerful scenes. I think you're fantastic in this film, but there are some really powerful scenes that you have to deliver. How did you prepare yourself for that?
A lot of Radiohead and a lot of kind of Hope of the States and some angry. There are certain songs, like there's one song, Enemies Friends, and Mayfair's Isu Frez, I don't know how to say that, by Hope of the States, that I've always gone back to over the years, and they are kind of, yeah, I mean, I keep going back to them to find Harry, and it's, yeah, music always really helps me get into the kind of the right frame of mind, but also when you're acting opposite Ralph Fiennes, there's not a huge amount of action required, because he kind of is, he's pretty terrifying. Yeah.
And your fondest memory, I mean, because we're here and it's 10 years you've been doing this. Is there one moment that stands out? Was it the first, the last? A lot of people have been saying how emotional the final scenes they shot were.
I mean, they were, the final scenes were incredibly emotional and very, very sad. But I think if there's one memory where you just have to go, this is so bizarre and awesome and cool, it's Gary Oldman teaching me the bass line to Come Together when I was like 14 on the third film. Like, you have to go a long way to beat those moments. You got J.K. Rowling here. I think I might have been trumped.
I think you should stick around with us.